Number 41, dog whistle politics.
Dog whistle politics. All right. An extreme version of reductionism and sloganeering in the public sphere, a contemporary fallacy of logos and pathos in which a brief phrase or slogan of the hour, example, abortion, the 1%, 9/11, Zionism, chain migration, Islamic terrorism, fascism, communism, big government, taco trucks. I'm not sure about that one. Tax and spend, gun violence, gun control, freedom of choice, lock them up, amnesty, etc., is flung out as red meat or chum in the water that reflexively sends one's audience into a snapping, foaming at the mouth feeding frenzy. Totally. Any reasoned attempt to more clearly identify, deconstruct, or challenge an opponent's dog whistle appeal results in puzzled confusion at best and wild, irrational fury at worst. Dog whistles differ widely in different places, moments, and cultural malex, and they change and lose or gain power so quickly that even recent historic texts sometimes become extraordinarily difficult to interpret. A common but sad instance of the fallacy of dog whistle politics is that of candidate debaters of differing political shades simply blowing a succession of discursive dog whistles at their audience instead of addressing, refuting, or even bothering to listen to each other's arguments, a situation resulting in contemporary 2017 allegations that the political right and left in America are speaking different languages when they are simply blowing different dog whistles. See also reductionism. Yeah, this is a big one.
One that popped into my mind was a video of Kamala Harris saying that things need to be more woke, something like that. But it was a
Yeah.
pretty old video, and woke back then did not carry this context of I'm gonna try to steel man the right's position on woke here. Um Intentionally forcing more than necessary diversity down people's throats. I think that's what they think is happening. Um, Whereas back then it was simply just like diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? So, but because of that, I've seen that used against her, saying that, oh, she's all woke. She even said so. It's like, well, now we're equivocating because I think that's kind of what dog whistle is that these words carry so much more meaning to them than what other people are using it, and it's a big equivocation, but it's a lot more weight to it than just mixing up definitions.
Yeah, I think now that as you're sharing, what it's kind of like coming up for me is I think it's like it's almost like words or phrases that it's like taking complex issues and consistently like assigning emotional charge and meaning to them over like almost like charging up the word so that the word becomes swayed in one direction, even though it's a complex thing that requires and demands like complex like talking about it. It's like it gets charged up so much in one direction or the other that the word itself begins to change. Like like an example, oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of um oh my gosh, did he, I can't remember. I'm trying to like paint a particular, actually I don't know enough about the topic to go in that level of detail, so I can't go there. But I would say like words like this that are like supercharged. As an example, one of them is like abortion. If you go, if the word abortion on the right means something completely different than on the left. It's like if you use that word, it has this
And
explosive.
just for context, do you mind trying to steel man how each side thinks that word means?
What does that mean?
Steelman is the opposite of a straw man. Straw man is where you deliberately try to misrepresent someone's position.
Okay.
Steelman would be to try to accurately represent their position as best as possible, to where like they would agree with that.
Got it. So you're saying, are
So
you,
like
you don't try to steal me?
what does the right think abortion means, and then what does the left think abortion means in your example here?
Yeah, I feel like what the right typically thinks abortion means is killing babies, and then what the left typically means with abortion is like women's right to choose. And so it's like is what I think it usually like comes down to, and it's super ingrained in people's like minds in that way. And so it's like to me, it's like of course, like it's the issue of abortion is so much more like there's a lot of complexity to it. There's like at what time is the baby being aborted? What's the condition of the mother? What's the condition of the child? What are the circumstances around that person? Where's the funds at? There's all these things, but it's like it's one of those things that as soon as it's used, depending even on the tone of voice that it's used in, it can just like I love what it said when it said it sends people snapping and foaming at the mouth, feeding frenzy. I really liked that because I feel like there are literally some terms that exist in our world today that when you say them, people literally just like it's so like charged up with whatever they're charged up with around that one word. Like a big one growing up for me, I knew in where I grew up the word illegals, like that was a hugely charged word, like hugely charged, like, and you get, it's like, we think about like the whole idea about fallacies, right? It's like I love what you said in one of the earlier episodes, Bryce, where you said the challenge with fallacies is that it takes more language to debunk them than it is to use them. And it's like, even the term, like the term illegals, it's like there's so much weight in that word, but it's like it encompasses such a complex realm of things. Are they undocumented? Did their visas run up? Did they come in with the appropriate papers? But now, like, there's so many complexities to this. Did they come in at a time when it was when getting citizenship or getting a green card in America was easier, and then all of a sudden something happened like 9/11, now it's more difficult and they got caught in the middle of it. Like there's so much that goes into that. But I remember being young, being, 12 years old or whatever it was, and like parents, people would use that word and it would just create this ubiquitous just like charge where everyone immediately was angry, frustrated, and agreed on something, and they really hated something, and just made this energy. And I remember as a kid being like, what is that? Like, why does this word create blindness, like a blind rage or a blind passion or whatever with people all around? So to me, yeah, that's one such example growing up for me was uh, the word illegals had such a huge amount of weight attached to it in the spaces where I witnessed political discord as a child.
Definitely. For the record, just so the audience knows, uh, and I would agree with Alan's definition of what the right thinks abortion means and what the left thinks abortion means. Um, Contrary to both of those, that's not what the medical and scientific definition is. And their definition is simply just termination of a pregnancy. So in the medical field, a C-section counts as an abortion. It doesn't necessarily mean that the baby dies.
Got it. Yeah, and isn't that huge? Like that's such a big, yeah, it's such a big yeah, this one
Which
really
by the
fascinates
way
me.
does mean that if you absolutely ban abortion, it bans women from receiving C-sections.
Does it actually? Like is that a thing?
Yeah, that's why it's really bad. The equivocation is strong with this one. This one's rough.
Is it is it actually wait. Like I'm actually really curious. If abortion is banned ubiquitously, so across the board at the federal level, every
Hmm.
state. That it seriously means that women will not be able to get C-sections?
To my understanding, yeah.
Oh wow, that would be really bad. I was a
But
C-section
that
baby.
that is just Alan's opinion. We're not saying one way or the other.
I
But
wouldn't be around if that was real because I was an emergency C-section. My mom died on the table, and if
oh
she did,
shit,
yeah, literally, if my mom, if C-sections were not a possibility, both me and my mom would be dead today. Like we wouldn't be alive. We'd be not here. So
yeah.
that's a big thing.
I've
If that's real, that's a big deal.
yeah. Um, most people I talk to about again, to not get political, but most people I talk to about abortions that are far right, um, I will bring up exceptions, and they will almost always agree that the exceptions are okay. But unfortunately, that's not what's in the literature.
Hmm.
So that's big problem.
Yeah, be interested. I'd be interested in, yeah, I'd love to do some kind of independent research on my own because that'd be shocking to me. That would be something that's like, especially because C-sections are they're so commonly done. Like I think everybody, I don't think it's possible in the United States to know to be alive and not know someone who was a C-section. Like I don't think it's possible,
Yeah.
genuinely.
Yeah,
Um,
especially because the way that we evolved, we just have such big freaking heads that like the reason why it takes us 26 years to fully develop, evolutionarily speaking,
yeah,
um, is because uh our brains cannot be any bigger and more developed. Otherwise, the mom dies, and you can't take care of a baby if your mom's freaking dead, right?
yeah.
So there is that is the reason that humans take so long to develop, and most other animals, like even giraffes, who fall like what 4 or 5 feet to the ground when they're birth, they can just get right up and they're good. They're a fully developed giraffe. They're just smaller. Um, Whereas babies are completely helpless. Human babies are completely helpless. It's fascinating. But yeah, that is dog whistle politics.